Okay, so the challenge came and went, and it looks like there definitely was a friction between a lot of these couples. Hey guys, it's Rob Morelli. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. Let's get straight into this. Daily and consistent injected. So I'm gonna go straight to Sanam. I just feel like Sanam is a top tier contestant. The more I see her on my screens, the more I want her to actually win the show. Like, I just feel like she carries herself well. She's got that personality, she's got that flair, she's chill, she's not really involved in the drama. She's one of those few contestants who doesn't need to be involved in drama or give us drama to be entertained by her. Like, I'm just entertained by her, and that's what I mean. Times her by 10 to 15, you have a good quality set of contestants. And I feel like she really is the only one in there that brings that flair that I've missed, that I've seen in other seasons, that I have enjoyed. I like Sanam. She's a great Casamore contestant, and I feel like for her to be brought back, I can see her and Kai winning. I would want them to win. That would be something that we deserve, you know, as an audience. We've been dragged through this entire season. It's nearly ended. It doesn't even feel like it just started last week. Time flies. But I feel like we've been dragged throughout this entire season, and I feel like they deserve to win. For me, icing on the cake, and I feel like Sanam is just a good contestant. I feel like she's just that girl, and I like what I see when it comes to her. She holds herself up quite well. So yeah, hopefully her and Kai win. Even during the tasks, you know, Kai was very much ordering everybody around like a teacher would, organizing everybody, saying, you know what, don't take it personally, it's a challenge, who's gonna go up, these are the questions, kind of, you know, getting it like a mini producer in that kind of way. And I just thought that was funny. I did do an interview with Billy, who, you know, exposed a lot of stuff when it came to the producers. Very interesting now when I look at the show from what he has said. Do go and check it out. It is my latest video, and shout out for the people who are watching it. I do appreciate it. Now let's get, and also I've just put up an Instagram picture of 2 interviews that I've done, so definitely go and show some love to that. I would appreciate as well. Now, I do feel like the teaser overhyped this episode. The teaser looked like it was going to be a lot more interesting, but it wasn't that. The first half an hour, you know, the boys sitting there clapping their thighs and whatever, and the girls are just talking. Like, I'm not really engaged, wasn't really enjoying it myself personally. I just felt like, you know, it was background TV, background fodder, and it's not even that I want drama every single day. I just want something interesting and engaging to watch. And I feel like, you know, it's a combination of everything being outdated, but just the first half an hour wasn't really doing it for me. Then the challenge came, and of course, you know, Tanya and Shaq were just like, we're not going up for this. I'm like, we're not doing that, sorry. And you know, the game playing, you know, stuff has bothered a lot of people. I do think that, unpopular opinion, I do think that Shaq definitely does have a point when he says that, you know, did Ron just really forgive and go with Lana and accept everything because she's very much liked in the villa? And, you know, the fact that they don't have much sexual chemistry, I didn't actually think that until today. I didn't actually realize that Ron and Lana don't really have that much, or we haven't seen that much between them two. And, you know, I do think to an extent a lot of these couples are game playing. You know, it's a 9th series, they all know what they're doing, but it's just interesting when they're all having conversation with each other to find out who is the most game player, who's the one that heads will turn, and they're trying to analyze what the audience think about them. You know, it's constantly on their mind, and I think this challenge definitely shows that, because, you know, they're very much assessing, oh, you know, when Tanya went to Casa, she brought Martin, but she didn't stay with him, she went back to, it's just like they already know the game plan, and it's just interesting to hear them all say it themselves. So I do think that Shaq as well at the same time can be quite inner on a lot of people's relationships and adds his opinions, etc., and doesn't like it when somebody does it to him. I've noticed that as well, and I do think that there definitely is tension riling up between Shaq and Ron, and it's been going here and there, but I do just think that the episode was overhyped to be more interesting, more dramatic than it actually was, because, you know, it did die down. Rosie and, you know, Jessie nearly had an issue where Rosie was like, was that directed at me? I think she was right to say that, you know, is this directed at me? I would like to know. Don't know why Casey told her off. Jessie, of course, you know, I feel like there was something going on between these two. It would have been nice to have seen that. So points to Rosie to try and do something, but no points to you to try and even think that Sanam is a game player, because that definitely isn't true in any regard. It's just not true. So it don't work like that. I'm so sorry, Rosie. I'm so sorry. Jessie gets upset. She's quite insecure with a few things, and she starts crying. The more I think about it, the more when she gets emotional, I don't see really tears. I don't think it's not genuine. There are people out there who do get emotional and do cry that don't really have visible tears gushing down their face. They do become teary-eyed. They might not have tear ducts. Maybe the Botox has removed that. I don't know, but I do think that she was being genuine there. She was bothered by a few things. She's assessing a lot, and it's interesting. And of course, Ron and Lana did the fact that they were played as game players. I do think that Ron and Lana are game playing to an extent, but I also think that Shaq and Tanya could be doing the same thing as well. Considering, you know, Shaq talking about how Lana took Ron back and etc., when the same thing as, you know, Tanya took you back after how he was treated from Tanya. It's like, you know, all these couples have done something that can be pointed against them. So And I think they're all aware of that. And I think it's just the nature of the conversation that follows after a challenge like this. I feel like everybody is a hypocrite to an extent, and they all know that, and they're just discussing it. So I don't think it's that deep for one couple to call out another couple's flaws when they've also had similar flaws. You know, it's just at that point of competition where they're bound to have similar flaws because their relationships are going to be tested. So, you know, it is what it is. I like the 4 people of Tanya, Shaq, Kai and Sanam are kind of hanging around together. I like their friendship together as a group. It does look nice, more enjoyable than the other couples, no shade, no tea. Sammy and Tommy, again, I just feel like, you know, to me, we're doing a background TV, and so was Casey. I just feel like a lot of it is background TV to me. When it comes to these couples, I feel like they're not as iconic, they're not as memorable, and I see by April that I will forget half of them. That's just how my mind is going with how this season is going. But I do think that there is tension between Shaq and Ron, and that will be investigated in the next couple of episodes. But it would have been nice to have seen, you know, a trailer for that, or tomorrow night teaser for that, and I feel like we didn't get that. So we'll just see what happens on Sunday. I think the challenge was good. You know, I think the challenge was, you know, there were good questions. I feel like it definitely got some things going. It's made people a lot more conscious, a lot more insecure, a lot more wary of each other. And I feel like this is where couples begin to turn on each other because they know the finale is coming soon and they want to show how strong they are. I do think regardless of what's happened today, Ron and Lana are going to be in that finale. So are Will and Jessie. I feel like these 2 couples are definitely going to be there. I would like Kai and Sam to be there as well. Hopefully that is the top 3 that I'm seeing. Then it's between Sammy and Tommy, Shaq and Tanya. And I do feel like because Shaq and Tanya have had more arguments and etc., although Sammy and Tommy have as well, we know how the UK works anyways. Brexit will Brexit, and I do think that, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what the top 4 finale are. Comment down below and let me know what your predictions are when it comes to the top 4 finale. What are your thoughts? Who do you think should be there, and who do you think is going to be there? I think there's, you know, it was an okay episode. I don't want to sit and start complaining every day. I feel like I've been doing that for the whole season anyways, and that just gets boring and repetitive. I don't want to keep doing that. But, you know, let's just say this wasn't an enjoyable episode for me, and I thought it was going to be. Nothing I dislike more than a trailer that is given to me where things are looking dramatic and then, you know, nothing comes of it. But we can't keep blaming the producers. I can't keep blaming the producers because they can only do so much with a cast that they have that aren't clearly doing as much because for whatever reason they don't. If it was me going into the 10th or 11th or 12th series, knowing that I've watched all the other series or that I know what Love Island is about, I would go in there and just cause carnage. And I feel like that's what I would have expected as the season progresses, that they will just cause carnage, because, you know, that's just, I know what people like. And that Love Island is not about love, it's about drama. If we want to say it's about love, it's not, because if the entire show was about pure love, everybody would be complaining that it's boring. The show is about drama. It should really just be called Drama Island because that's what everybody wants, dramatics. But I think Sanam is a top tier contestant. I feel like she's one of the best contestants of this season. I feel like, you know, it would have been nice to have seen her as an OG as well. And I think that, you know, she definitely is good. I'm glad that she was brought back. I'm glad that she stayed. I'm glad that she's found Kai. She's made Kai likable. And I feel like for me personally, I would like Kai and Sanam to win. I like their affection with each other, their intimacy. It looks natural. Nothing looks forced between them two. It doesn't look like they're not being together for the sake of it. And I'm glad that now, with hindsight, that Sanam went with Kai and Sanam didn't go with Casey. Because Casey would have left her for Rosie. And it would have been a hot mess. It would have been a hot mess. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this review. Let me know what your thoughts are. Head over to my interview with Billy. Head over to my Insta for, you know, my quick post with these 2 islanders. I did one with Billy and I did one with Natalia. And of course, she broke down and got very emotional. And I think it's just very interesting. I am now gearing more towards doing interviews with Islanders after this season as opposed to straight away, because I feel like A, I'm not as invested in the season to really want to know about XYZ. For me personally, I'm just not, and I can't force things. B, I've had quite a few friends who unfortunately committed suicide, so, you know, mentally it is a lot for me to deal with right now. And C, you get to so much depth and emotion to the fact that these Islanders are breaking down with me post the season that I would never have gotten prior, and I'm just more in a position where I want to get depth in interviews. Like, I don't want to keep talking to you about who kiss who, because I feel like there's just more to people and lives and stories that, you know, it does get quite reductive, to be honest with you. That's just where my head is at right now. So I have spoken to the Islanders of the season, and hopefully that will follow as time goes on. We will see. But this ends, I believe, March 12th or 13th. Not next week is the last full week, and the next Monday is the finale. So it ends then, and then you have the next season starting in 2 months. 2 months, child. 2 months. Love Island Summer is approaching. And we'll just see what it does when it comes to the show and how well it goes, because my eyes right now are not on Love Island anymore. My eyes are on Big Brother. I do feel like Love Island is dying. You know, we experienced a repeat with season 8, which I don't think anybody expected, because season 5 was great, 6 was dead, 7 was cute. It wasn't amazing, but it was cute, it was okay. But I felt like 8 was that girl, and it was a repeat for the show that we never expected, hence why they even brought back Love Island Winter. That's what Live 8 was. So we'll see what 10 does. I feel like season 10 is the defining moment to whether the show can do. If 10, you know, repeats season 9, then it might be an issue. So we'll just see. But my eyes are not really on Love Island right now. They're on Big Brother, which begins in October. That is what I want to see when it comes back. How is it going to work? What are the contestants going to be? Who they're going to bring forward? That is what I'm excited for when it comes to that. And Love is Blind, that's starting in March 24th. And if you haven't watched the trailer, Netflix have put me in it. Let me know your thoughts are, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.